The Golden Gemz podcast? What's that? It's a podcast where you get your motivation. It's a podcast where you get consistent gems. It's a podcast where you get your inspiration and you sit back and just learn just a little bit. It's a podcast that even your mama love. It's the best podcast simply around. The Golden Gemz podcast, baby. And yes, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming back. Sit back, relax, and get these gems.
What is going on, my beautiful people? Welcome back, of course, to another episode on the Golden Gemz podcast. Yes, of course, I got a special guest for us today. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Let the people know who you are, and let the people know where you're from too.
How we doing? This Coach T, aka Tremaine Turner, from Maywood. I'm also from Glen Ellen, also from Carroll Stream. I'm all over, it's not just one spot. We all over the globe, I'm just a young man trying to do the right thing, out here trying to turn these positive signs up and raise the volume, that's what we out here trying to do.
Okay. Appreciate that, man. So you grew up. So are you originally from Maywood then? But did you grow up in Maywood, and how did you transition? How did you end up in Carroll Stream, Glen Ellen? How you end up bouncing around like that?
So grew up in Maywood, stayed out there for 9 years, then moved out. Staying in Maywood was great though. A lot of my roots come from there.
Outside to the wood.
Me, my grandmother, grandfather, my uncles out there, and I had my aunts out there, and my mom's stepfather came in my life when I was 6. It was just positive vibes. We very close, tight-knit. Family's always been very important. I've seen a lot growing up, had great examples, things to do around the house, things and what not to do. So I learned from the good and the bad, and I just took it, and it made me become a better person and the man that I am today.
Okay. So pretty much, so what got you? So I want you to tell the people about a little bit about, what you do and where are you at now? So tell me, like, what made you, well, first of all, you are a personal trainer. You are a nutrition coach as well. So go ahead, tell the people what made you get into that. Like, what was the passion, or where did that come from?
Okay. So I went to North Central, played football there, ran track. I was hurt a lot during my career in football. Didn't really play much at all, mostly supporting my peers and my roommate because they was also involved in football. Ran track there as well. I had a hernia back in, I want to say 08, and that hurt me out a lot. I needed to have another surgery, but I neglected not to do that because the whole process of my first surgery was very painful. I had a pull growing, sports hernia. I was out for 9 months. Charles Woodson actually had the same accident that happened to him in his career when he was playing for the Packers. And it's a very painful recovery. You can't do any like lower body activities for a long time, and you just gotta come back. And that healing process is very tough. Not being able to run and do the stuff that you normally can do, and it takes a toll on you, and it just makes you become a stronger person. And in that process, it takes a lot of development, movement, breathing techniques, and you like lose your way. And through all of that, it's either sink or swim mentality. And I was trying to swim, However, the process and the movements and all that prohibited me from being who I used to be. And, it's an ego thing, it's a pride thing as men, and they got the best of me. And I said, well, if I can't really play until my peak, into what I knew who I am, I said, well, I guess I just run track. So I was running track, and I got to know a fellow on a team, which was named Wesley Shine. And he's
Okay.
from out west as well. And he was the head guy in charge, as far as like track and stuff like that. And we worked on the D term. So D term is more like when you got your breaks, Christmas time and Thanksgiving for trimesters that what North Central ran through. It breaks up your Thanksgiving break all the way up until the next year. So when we got off on Thanksgiving, we would have our break all the way into January 2nd.
Right.
So he had hit me up. I want to say the year was like 2009. He said, "Hey man, I know you on D term right now. You got a long break. I think you should try this personal training opportunity." And the personal training opportunity happened to be at Export in Elmhurst in Illinois.
Oh wow. Okay.
And he said, "Man, come over here, slide. Check it out." I was like, "I'm not certified. I'm not this or that." He's like, "Don't worry about that." He said, "Come check it out." I checked it out. Saw what he did, met a couple people, and I was like, "Man, I could see myself doing that." And he was like, "Well," I'm like, "All right, I got you. You was right. You was right." He needed that confirmation because
Right.
I had some doubt in my mind. I said, "I don't know," and all this. just coming up with excuses that we do. When it's something new, because change.
It's hard.
Right.
It's hard. It's different because you stepping into the unknown. Right. So I definitely understand that.
So I did that. Ended up taking the test. Scored like 84 out of 87.
Yes, sir.
And got a couple more certifications during my vacation or D term, however you want to put it. And I said, well, got to go back to school. We're going to see, how it goes. And fast forward, after my college career was done, I said, let me go ahead and check it out. And, I started working at St. Charles East High School and Wheat North High School as a sports conditioning coach. But that was just like a seasonal gig.
Right.
And then fast forward to that, I ended up working at Export back where Wesley was
so where you originated from then.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, so you kind of came full circle almost.
Exactly. And props to him, for reaching out the hand and, support. And it changed into a life that I've been doing for 18 years now.
Dang, that's amazing, man. So you've been a personal trainer / coach for 18 years.
Yes. Some of those years I was a fitness manager, and some of those years I was also like a general manager at that point too, in a different state.
Right.
Because I also worked in South Carolina, and I worked as a kickboxing, boxing coach, and I got real talented at that, overseeing members, overseeing the staff, and it developed into a hobby. Then it developed into a lifestyle. Because when you're a general manager, you're just trying to retain members. You're trying to make sure the gym is up and functioning.
Exactly. You got a lot of different responsibilities going on.
Right. So I'm like, well, I got all these multiple hats and stuff. And this was also during COVID.
Oh, man. So it was kind of rough at that time.
Right. So I had all these different kind of hats because we didn't have the staff that, a gym really needs. So I'm like, okay, I'll do this, I'll do that, and I'll do this. But at the same time, it just got better and better and better. And fast forward to now, I'm out in Lombard, UFC at the Yorktown Mall.
Yes, sir.
I'm one of the coaches there, and I'm working with people from different cultural backgrounds, from different ages, from a 6-year-old all the way up to somebody who's in their age of 70, and it's beautiful because I get to learn from all of them.
Right.
I never look at it as if I know more than them. I look at it as if that I can still learn from you and be better. And that's what's making me evolve and grow as a person and as a coach.
That's true. And I feel like throughout, everybody's journey, you can always continue to learn. You can always continue to grow. And some people, they get it twisted where they think they know everything and they don't like to take, the extra hints or take the extra help from people. But you kind of look at it, from a glass, not halfway filled, but a glass all the way filled by looking at it and saying, I can always learn, I can always continue to evolve, I can always continue to get better then. So I can tell that you already passionate about it. So so you think that passion came, for personal training from you starting out younger and your coach actually just reaching out and just saying like, hey, let's go ahead, let me have you try this and see if you like it.
I think it's a mixture of that too, of both, because if Wesley wouldn't have gave me that shout out or, was looking out to grow and to help me out because, that the end of my college career was coming up, I wouldn't even started that journey because I went to school to be an actor.
Oh man, hold on, we gotta get into that. Hold on. So what was your degree then? So your degree was you were studying like I can't think of the word. You could probably help me out.
Performance arts.
Performance arts. Okay, so that's what your degree was in.
I actually got a degree as an associate's in Lincoln College. I was on pace to get my performance arts degree from North Central. However, I ended up quitting school because I had to go and take care of my family.
Right.
So my father got incarcerated.
Yes, sir.
About 10 years. And I had to step up and be a man of my house and do what any man would have did to protect his family and support them.
Exactly.
So I was 23 credits short. Father got in some trouble. I had to step up, take care of my little brother, my mother, and then at that time I was seeing my high school sweetheart. We was together for about 8 years.
Man.
I had to step up and take care of that and be a man at that time.
Right.
So
do you think you were ready for it at that time, or but I mean, you could never be ready for it, but for you to go ahead and just, step out there and understand the responsibility that you had on your shoulders at a young age, and you putting like a dream to the side, you think you were ready for that? Or how do you think that impacted you down the road? You think it was probably one of a good thing, and looking at it in hindsight?
As far as me being ready or not, I never even looked at it. I come from a great family, Turner family. We very proud individuals, and we have great role models that led us to be who we are today. I got uncles I look up to. I have a grandfather I look up to, a grandmother I look up to, and aunts and uncles and cousins that I look up to and aspire to be great. So I think it's just in the bloodline. It wasn't a question of and or if. It was just this what it is, and that's what you got to do. I didn't even look at it. It's just, hey, you got to step up and be responsible.
Right.
So my biological father, he left when I was born. You know what I'm saying? So I never want to be anything like him because that's a bad example. I wanted to be more like my family and my stepfather.
Right.
So
because you've seen that example growing up.
Exactly. So I knew what I didn't want to be like, and it was just one option: take care of your family.
Right.
And that's what I did.
Okay, I definitely understand that. So with you switching and going from performance arts to just going full force into personal training, do you feel like, overall, like that was probably the best thing that would happen to you then? Just making that switch and finding that passion and that love. Because, I mean, you've been doing it for 18 years, so of course you got to love it at this point. Like, it probably don't even seem like a job no more.
No. I loved it, man. And, through any bumps and roads, you're going to learn something from it.
That's
you
true.
See a final project, right? But you don't really see that rough draft. You got all these parts and stuff, and you see the picture of what that finished product could look like.
That's true.
But in order to fulfill it, in order to make it what it is, you got to go through all those stepping stones, step 1, step 2, step 3, in order to get that final project. And it comes with learning curves, development, and growth. And that's what I went through. And that's what makes me who I am today. And it's just beautiful because I didn't always color inside the lines. I was coloring outside the lines at some pieces and parts of my life, but
that's a great example.
Makes the journey complete. You got to learn in order to develop and to have a foundation and have structure. And it's beautiful to look back at it now because I was thinking like, okay, I'm gonna be a theater actor I'm gonna do a sitcom, or I'm gonna do short stories, comedian. I don't know really what it is. It's just that being in school was a prime example of to be positive and have a good product of your environment and to represent your family. So that's what I wanted to do. But as far as becoming a trainer, it's crazy now because it's no longer a hobby of what I thought it was going to be.
Right.
It becomes a lifestyle,
Right.
of helping people who has diabetes, helping people who have been prognosis of some cancer sort, or somebody who's dealing with the proper way on how to construct a diet, using different elements of therapy of how to resurrect their life and how to deal with anger management, into surfacing that area into something positive, like hitting the punching bag or taking your aggressions out on the weights, because in life it throws you curveballs, and it's your responsibility on how to redirect that and how to grow and to make that into something positive. And that's what I do. I mean, I have an opportunity to change someone's life for the better and not for the worse, and that's what I would want. I have clients that I've had over 10 years, family that trust me with their kids, and they believe that they spending all this kinds of money on to make themselves better, and I want to be a prime example of that.
That's awesome, man. And I respect that too, because a lot of people don't like giving back in that way, but I can tell like you got a true passion with helping people. And that's really what it is. You helping, like you said, a various amount of people by just, coming in every day and just saying like, yes, I'm going to help you in whatever aspect you need. And I'm going to get you right as far as nutrition. I'm going to get you on the right diet and things like that. So going from that, do you feel like that is a lane that should be more broadcast? Like, do you feel like health is very important in people's lives? Because a lot of people, they sometimes, as you get older, you kind of get away from working out. You get away from kind of, because our metabolisms, I still butcher the word, but our metabolism, it slows down, and people don't understand that. Like, yeah, you look good while you were younger, but you still, hey, in your late 20s, early 30s, late 40s, like you still got to be working out. You still got to be taking care of your body. You still got to be eating the right things. And with our generation and with past generations too, you really don't see that as much. And dang, Kobe jersey, hey, he just told us we was going too long. So man, we gonna fix it though. That might be a little blooper.
Hey, that's part of the rough draft though.
Real talk.
Part of the rough draft. We ain't gonna have to edit that. It ain't like we got it nailed to the document like that. It's up there, but it's all good. It's just like our story. We fall, but you know what? We get back up.
That's facts.
That's what it's about. We just got to keep it moving, man. That's all.
That's facts, man.
But no, as far as you were saying with the metabolism, you made a great point. And I myself am a victim, like most of us, because I used to be an athlete,
Right.
And I say used to be because I'm no longer that athlete that I used to be.
Right.
It's easy to post a video, of me doing something explosive. You're like, wow, it's like, hold on now. I can only do that for like 15 or 20 good seconds. It ain't like when I was younger and I could do it for like a minute or 45 seconds.
Exactly.
Because you only gonna post and put up what you think is gonna gain some attention or what you think, quote unquote, is the best.
That's facts. It's a highlight reel. I feel like I said this in my past interviews, well, not interviews, but past videos. The internet is pretty much a highlight reel of everybody's life. You're going to put your best moments on there. You're going to put that 10-second or that 15-second best, like, explosive movement that you get. You're going to put it all on there because that's what the internet is, a big old highlight reel, man. You ain't going to put you failing or messing up a rep on there. You can always put your best things on the internet. That's why the internet is kind of, I look at it as a blessing and a curse, but you can continue though.
Exactly. But no, to piggyback on what you were saying about the metabolism, so it's a mixture, I feel, of two things. It's laziness, and then it's also ego. And I say laziness because it's easy to do something that's comforting and something that is convenient. You know
That's
what
true.
I mean? So you have a critique routine that you may go by, and it might not even be structured, but it could be your structure. You know, like take for example, your bedroom. You know, that's your bedroom, that's your privacy, whatever it is. Some people it might be a mess, but your mess is what you know. Like you know exactly where your socks is, you know exactly where your drawers is. It could be a mess to somebody else, but as soon as somebody come in there, you get a maid or your mama may come over. Oh, my baby got this stuff all over. Let me clean it up. You go in there, you like, oh wait. That ain't where I put my drawers. That ain't where I put my socks. You know, well it was a mess. No, it wasn't. I knew what everything was.
Exactly.
It's just what you know.
That's
So
facts.
as far as the metabolism, right? You got to eat every 2 to 3 hours, speed that metabolism up, but it's got to be portion size, like portion control.
Right.
You know, a palm of your hand, right? Your hand, my hand, your cousin hand, your mama hand, your mama's mama hand is different. So with portion control, that helps control that metabolism. So if it's a grain, fat, a carbohydrate, whatever it is, when you're eating for one serving, you got to make sure if it's bigger than the palm of your hand, then it's too much.
Right.
That's how you can measure something. Not just having like a scale, because not everybody's gonna buy a scale and put like an apple on it or fruit on there just to make sure it measures up to what you should have for portion control.
Right.
To dumb it down in layman's term, just put that apple, cut it up. If it can fit in the palm of your hand, then that's good. Get some eggs, you know, boiled eggs or egg beaters or egg whites, put it inside of the palm of your hand. And if it's too much, then that's too much for that serving. But whatever can fit in the palm of your hand, when you eating that actual plate, that's what your serving size should be.
Right.
Okay. And we got to get in the mind of releasing that ego, because we no longer are that athlete that we used to be in high school or college, whatever it is.
Right.
You know, because if you keep talking about the past, you never go move forward.
Exactly.
Okay. So it's very important that you eat every 2 to 3 hours, or some people you might need to eat every 3 to 4 hours. And that's going to help speed up that metabolism. Okay. And it has to be portion control, though. You can't get a big old plate of food and eat all that plate on that food. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it helps with small things. So instead of buying that like extra large or that large plate of food, get like a medium sized plate, because that's going to help you control that portion. You see what I'm saying? Because coming up in our culture, right, we was taught whatever's on that plate, you better eat.
Right, you better eat everything. Don't throw it away. Don't waste no food up in this house.
Exactly. But when you really think about it, and you look at it, you analyze it, you eating for two.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
depending on how big that plate is, you definitely is. And then too, you know, cookouts and our family, we eat soul food, eating collard, you know, eating the greens, macaroni. So you know.
And then what's most likely gonna happen? You're not gonna be active after that.
Exactly.
And then you wondering why you getting big,
right?
Because you creating that cycle, that ongoing cycle. So if we don't fix that now, it's not going to get any better. So it's up to us. It's up to me. It's up to you to educate each other, to highlight that as a culture.
So what's a good strategy, do you feel like? Because I know you probably watch what you eat, and of course you're in great shape as well. So what's a good strategy for the people out there who don't really know like how much a proportion? I know you gave them the palm of your hand, but is it something else that they can kind of, you know, how they can track their calories, or how they can track, you know, the things that they eat, so that way they can start to eat better?
You can download a free app on your phone. I'm an Android person.
All right.
So I know
I got an iPhone, so it's okay. We ain't gonna come with your Android, man. Y'all Android fool. We gonna let y'all live today.
Right. I appreciate that. So they have free apps. You know, you go to your Galaxy store, your Apple store, and you can download MyFitnessPal or Calorie Counter.
Oh, my FitnessPal is amazing one. I like that one. I use that one in college, so I definitely know.
And if you grab like an item, food item or drink, they got a barcode you can scan, QR code. I think that's the popular thing, because they don't be using menus now.
Now they know QR code. Go to a restaurant, they like scan. I'm like, bro, I came here because I want the restaurant experience. Can I get the actual menu, please?
You know what I'm saying?
What if you ain't bring your phone out to eat that night?
In some places, they don't want you to have your phone with you. Now you got to scan this QR code. It's like, wait, hold on, I'm supposed to leave my phone in the car.
Right. I was trying to come in here, me and my wife trying to have a nice night.
Right.
No phones and that. Now I don't got no other choice, you telling me.
Right.
That's because this day and they trying to make everything technology. That's a whole nother subject, man, which is crazy.
But yeah, so you can scan the QR code and that'll give you all the nutritional facts on there.
Right.
It'll let you know how many carbohydrates in there. And carbohydrates ain't nothing but sugar. When it's broken down, it's sugar.
Right.
So make sure you have all your sugar between morning and lunchtime, okay? Because those are the times where you're going to be the most active. After lunchtime, you just need your protein and your healthy fats. And what I mean by my healthy fats are, you got your sweet potatoes, you got your avocados, you got your guacamoles. Those are healthy fats. Because when you get hungry, right, after lunchtime, you got your protein, you got your healthy fats. So that's how you're going to be able to restore that energy, restore that strength, and also rest. But all your morning and lunchtime, anything with sugars, like your breads, if you are having breads, Ezekiel bread, that's a very healthy bread that you can have.
Okay.
Or if you're having like your whole wheat bread, or your healthy sugars like berries, cranberries, strawberries, raspberries. You have that between morning and lunchtime. That way you can put that in your body so your system is not really feeling like, wait, hold on. After lunch, I should be having sugar. No, because now it's going to give you energy because that's all the carbohydrate is. It's in your body to get you energized. You don't have to be doing nothing like too active after you get off work.
Exactly. Most people are gonna go ahead, eat, watch TV. Sleep. Exactly.
And now you finna have a belly. You're finna have all these other issues. Then you're gonna be wondering like, why are you feeling like this? And then if you having those sugars and stuff, most likely you probably eating some with like pasta or something.
That's true.
And those are comfort foods. And then what you gonna do when you get comfortable? You're gonna go to sleep.
Right, or just be sitting there watching Netflix all day. Then you might get up for another snack and you
exactly. So yeah, it's just things you gotta watch to make sure that you don't do too much of. Everything's gotta be in moderation. Each and everything, because too much of anything is not good.
Okay. Well, we appreciate that, man. Appreciate you giving some gems out here, to my beautiful people, man. So now let's go ahead and switch gears a little bit. So you mentioned that you were, in a relationship for like 8 years. So you let the people know, are you single now, or what's the status, man?
The status right now is single/divorced. We're in a new age, so. I'm single, but I'm also divorced. So I don't know how people want to classify that, put that in the category, but that's what it is.
Okay, so if you don't mind me asking, how long was you with your last partner, and what ended up happening to get to that divorce stage, you feel like?
So we were together for almost 8 years, and it would have made 5 years this past July. Okay, this past July 8th.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. And at the same time, we had our rough moments, just like anybody. And, I wish her nothing but the best. However, we hit a stalemate where, we just clashed and collide. I'm over here. You gotta edit that,
you
hit a stage where, we clashed and collide and we had to go our separate ways.
Right.
I learned a lot from that relationship. I'm thankful for that relationship. I have nothing but positive things to say about that relationship. And I know people like, wait, if it was all positive, all that, like, why ain't y'all still together?
Did you feel like y'all started to grow apart then, or y'all started to, because sometimes that's how it is too. Like when you hop into a relationship, sometimes when y'all start to grow as individuals, sometimes, you kind of grow apart in a way. And it's not the same as, the honeymoon stage. Because was she your high school sweetheart then?
No.
So this is
that was another relationship.
Okay.
That one was with Alana Bauer.
Okay.
That
Like
was
you
my
remember
high
it. You like,
yeah. That was my high school sweetheart.
Okay.
And we used to be together. You know, I actually proposed to her as well. And my lady,
you said so. You said you proposed to her as well. Well, hold on. You proposed to that song?
yeah, yeah. And I sang that song.
Oh,
It was at Coop's Den. It was at Coop's Den, and I believe that was in Bolingbrook. I had proposed to her singing "Forever My Lady" by Jodeci.
right.
And I actually proposed to her with my grandmother's pearl ring because Alana was really into pearls. And my grandmother, you know, she loved me like she would love any of her grandsons, right?
Right.
And I proposed to her with that ring. And,
Oh man.
you know, we were supposed to get married, but things just did not work out.
Right.
We ended up moving in together, you know, and this was at a period where my my pops, my stepfather, I look at him my pops because that's my pops. I know he's not my biological father, but that's my pops. And it was real tough for us because this was our first time like living alone, just me and her.
Right.
You know, because she ended up moving in with me and my mother and my little brother at a time where a lot of things was going rough in her life. And like any man who don't want to see their girlfriend in a better spot.
Right, in a better situation. You wanted to be there to help her. You wanted to be there to help her get through the weather the storm with her.
Right.
So I definitely understand that.
And she ended up living with me, my mother, and my little brother, you know, but it got to a point where we wanted to do our own thing. So we moved in together, me and Alana, and things was great in the beginning, but, you know, they ended up not being so great. You know, growing apart, things changed. You know, we started having arguments, and we never argued before.
Right.
And we just grew apart, and we wanted different things in life, and that relationship hit its expiration date. You know, and I wish her the best, and I hope she's doing well with her family and her relationship and her career. I just, you know, wish her the best, but you know, everything got an expiration date on it, and our relationship did.
I got you. I definitely respect that. Then, so say so was the next relationship out there? Was that your wife then? Your past wife that you were with then?
No. Me and Shannon, we got together June 21st of 2014.
Oh, okay.
I met her at church. Well, actually, she met me. You know.
Okay. So she approached you. She got on that with you then.
Yes. And big props to her because I wasn't used to a woman being that upfront and being direct on what she wanted. And
man, you don't see that at all these days, really.
And she wanted me.
Right.
You know, and I appreciate that because it leaves out the whole figuring out, like, you know what I'm saying?
Like, do you mess with me? Do you like me? How you feeling? Like, I understand
ain't nothing wrong with a woman knowing what she wants and being confident. I applaud that.
Seriously, and then going to get it.
Yeah, that's what I like. That's what he about. You know, I'm gonna get at that, and that's what she was about, and I appreciate that. You know, I met her at church. The church that I was attended at the time, it was called Harvest Bible Chapel. Okay. It's now called High Point Church. The original church, Harvest Bible Chapel, we broke off into another branch.
Right.
That was in Elgin. That's where it first started. It was run by James McDonald, I'm pretty sure. So we broke off from that branch.
Okay.
And it's called High Point Church. It is now in Naperville. Not now, but it's always been in Naperville. It's just a different name. And I worked with Pastor Ron Zappia for over 10 years. And I got involved through one of my closest friends. I'm actually going to see him tonight. His name is Lance Martin. Right. You know, we having our quarterly meeting that we have like each quarter. You know, we try to get together,
talking about business.
Exactly. You know, business, networking, family, all of that.
That's what's
up. You know, because as you age, you get more responsibility, get kids, family, all
That's
of that.
true. So you
it's
don't really
only-
got too much time to really get together.
right.
I understand
And
that.
our brotherhood is strong. We have a strong bond, and we don't want to be the type to act like we always got time. Because
That's
when you
true.
feel like you got time, you gonna push stuff off. Like, oh, I
Yeah.
got time.
Right. But you ain't promised tomorrow though.
No, we not.
That's yeah.
And we be tonight because we understand that we don't always have time.
Right.
And when we say we have time, then we get lazy, we get complacent.
Right.
Throughout the week, you're gonna do the same thing. You wake up and do the same thing. You work, you brush your teeth,
You do
yada
that.
yada yada. You have conversation with the people you normally talk to, and then life passes you by. So it's very important to have that camaraderie with the people that you grew up with, that you're around, and this positive love, and you can learn and grow together, and you can build something, and that's what we're trying to do.
That's most definitely, man.
Yeah.
So I want to say with past relationships, do you feel like is it healthy to still stay in contact with your past like women that you've been with, or you think it's healthy to be still in contact with like past lovers and people like that?
It depends on are you talking from a single person?
Yeah, from a single person's perspective, but then also too, of course, I feel like in relationships, I feel like you shouldn't be, especially because some people I've heard of some people actually like being like best friends with one of their like with their exes while they're in a relationship, and I just don't comprehend that in my opinion. But at the same time, I'm talking about like say when you single, do you feel like it's still healthy to still have relationships with your past exes and things like that, or to check up on them and things like that from time to time?
If I'm single, which I'm single now,
right,
you should keep a healthy relationship, but a healthy, respectful relationship. Now, depending on if that person is involved with somebody else, you got to respect that.
Exactly.
And I also believe that needs to be out in the open as far as their spouse or their significant other knowing that y'all still talk.
Right.
Because you don't want nothing coming out the dark, because what's in dark is going to come to light. So you want to make sure you have that open line of communication. Like, hey, I still talk to so and so. Is that cool? And if it's not cool, in my opinion, with that man, then you shouldn't have that relationship ongoing, because something's going to come out of that and it's not going to be a good thing. So as long as you have that open line of communication,
right,
and that spouse knows or that significant other knows, then it's okay. But if it's an issue, it's just some static there, then nah, it's not that important. You got to respect that. You might not like that, but you got to respect that. And that's what we got to stand on, respecting each other without being upset or having something negative to say about that. You just got to respect that. And
that's true.
That's what I'm all about.
Okay, I respect that. So let's switch gears here a little bit. I did tell my people I was going to touch on the NBA Finals. So did you watch the NBA Finals at all this past week?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, who was you rooting for first off? Who did you want to pull out the win, man?
I'm a realist. Okay, so let me preface that.
Okay, go ahead, preach to me then.
I wanted Boston to win. However, I felt the Warriors were going to take it in 6. And the reason why is because the Warriors, they still have their same core. Draymond, Clay,
and you got Steph.
And the general, which is Steph.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying? And once you got a core like that intact and they play effortlessly and they want each other to get their own, and it's not an ego thing, then you got something that you really want to be a part of. You got something that's beautiful, because we all just trying to get it. And the ultimate goal is that championship. They putting their egos aside. Ain't no bickering and hollering, all
that's
this
facts.
and that. Like, that's what it's all about. Because when you down, you want your brother or your loved one to pick you up.
That's facts.
You don't want them to be on no ego pride, no ego trip. You want them to pick you up, support you, make you feel like, hey, even though the stat line ain't show I scored 30 or 20 some points, I still was there and I gave it my all.
Right.
And effort. Just like in personal training, I go back to this. I don't care if you only gave me 10 reps, but I was looking for 8, or I was looking for 12, or I was looking for 14. Whatever I ask you for, if you give me effort,
That's all that matters at the end of the day.
exactly.
That's definitely facts, man.
And that's what you want in your team. That's what you want in your client or any relationship is effort. And that's what Golden State Warriors do. They give you maximum effort. You can't never be upset at that.
That's facts. You see, you got Curry. All he do is give effort. He be running up and down the court. That's why a lot of people kind of overlook that what he does on the court, because he's not only like, of course, he's a great shooter, but he's probably one of the greatest slashers and the greatest, players that I've seen who can get open on a consistent basis. Is everybody, they always either single them up or they double them, and then two, with him running across the edge and coming off screens, he's always moving. And that's the key. I feel like, because I actually picked the Warriors to win in 6-2. Go ahead and admit to it. I want it. Of course, I got love for Boston, but then again, I like you said, I'm a realist as well. So I knew what it was going to come down to. The Warriors, they just had that championship pedigree, and I just didn't see them losing it.
All right. And I know Tatum been taking a lot of heat.
Oh man, I give him some more heat.
Which you gotta take that, and you do deserve that, because you are the best player on the team, and that's for anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like the head of the household, something don't work out. The head of the household, you gotta take that heat. Just like take the credit when things are going great, you gotta take the heat when things going bad.
That's
and with
facts.
Tatum, he young, and he gonna be back. He was brought up from Kobe.
That's facts. Hey, that was that
You know what I'm
Kobe.
saying?
That's his little protege. Hey, right. You already know.
So he gonna be all right. You know
That's
what I'm saying? And all the slander and the comments and all of that, it's all good, because he can use that as motivation.
Exactly.
And that's going to inspire him to be greater. He going to work on this game. He going to look at film. He going to be in those study sessions, and he has a great coach, and he has great teammates. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be back, and they're going to be better.
I feel like that too. I feel like they're gonna definitely be back again, because they got a young team too, and they got like a core. Like they kind of got the same core players. Of course, they not on Steph and Clay's and Draymond's level, but at the same time, they got that core base where with Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, and then of course Tatum. Like they got those core couple pieces that they needed, and then if they can stay together, then I feel like they're gonna definitely come back and do some damage in the next couple of years.
Right.
I don't know, because they still got Miami, they still got the Nets and Brooklyn. They coming back next year. You got the Heat, so next year is gonna be crazy too to see who end up making it. But I feel like Golden State though, I feel like they're gonna make another run at it next year too.
Right.
Either next year, or at least for the next couple of years. Curry, he only 34. I think Clay and Draymond, they like around 32. So they're still young out here. Right. Old but young, in NBA terms. But it's going to be interesting to see.
And for all the onslaught of negative things that was spoken about Draymond, look, like you said, when you got shooters out there like Jordan Poole, Curry, Clay, why should he be shooting? He needs to be passing the ball. You got shooters like that, because you're going to put yourself and your team in the best situation. So Draymond, you did the right thing. Pass the ball when you got shooters like that. Pass the ball.
Exactly.
And you did that. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, y'all got a championship. And what is it about?
The rings.
Exactly. hey, you got some bling over there. I see you shining.
I kept a couple rings at home, but I got a few, man. I got a few, hard work does pay off in certain situations. Even though I'm retired now, these are some, I'll probably give it to my kids one day whenever I have them. Like, it's special, man, because I feel like, switching gears, like, I feel like sports in general, they are probably one of the greatest things that's been invented, and I feel like it teaches you so much, regardless of whatever sport, if it's tennis, if it's soccer, if it's football, baseball, basketball. Right. I feel like with all sports, it's like a key for a child to go through and learn that discipline, learn, being on a team, learn and, how to, show up on time to games, how to, be one. Because sometimes you ain't going to always agree with your teammates, but you work through it because you're on the same team. You work through it. And I feel like even, that goes with life. Like sports teaches you so much that go into life. And it shows you how to deal with different people, and these days you're dealing with everybody, you're dealing with a lot of people from different backgrounds and cultures and things like that.
Right.
So do you feel like, going on this, do you feel like sports was instrumental in your life growing up then?
Yes, it was. What was great about sports, you got that discipline.
That's true. I think that's key too.
Discipline is very key, and it's important, especially at a young age. So that way, as you are moving up and you're going through grade to grade, career to career, degree to degree, you will have that understanding of learning and also that understanding of being humbled, okay? Because you can't go through life thinking that you know everything, because you don't.
That's facts.
We are all God's children. We still learning. We still making mistakes. You know what I'm saying? There's always going to be somebody better than you at something, but you have to be humble at one point of your life. And as long as you have that open mind and you are willing to accept criticism, it's okay. That's how we all get better, and that's how we will continue to get better.
That's facts, and I think I definitely agree with that. And I feel like, throughout time, like that's what, like you said, it goes back to discipline. Throughout, any sport that you play, you gotta have discipline with it, because you have to have the discipline to show up on time. You have to have the discipline to actually put in the work after hours. If you want to be good at anything, you have to put in overtime in it. You have to put in those extra hours. You have to put in that extra sweat that people just don't see. You got to work behind the camera a little bit.
And then speaking on that extra time, I know time is very important. You can't get that back. But in the beginning, through those rough moments, you might not get paid while you putting in that extra work. Man. People will not see that extra work. And don't worry about if somebody saw it or didn't, or you didn't get paid for it, or you didn't. Because when I first started my career, the first 3 months that I started, I was working 60 to 80 hours a week, but my paycheck didn't show. However, it showed in my craft and how I worked, because it eventually paid off.
Right.
And that's what's important, okay? Don't always think that in the beginning that you're going to be getting paid for your work, or it's going to show in the beginning, because you got to go through that rough draft in order to get that final draft. When you writing something, when you writing lyrics, when you write poetry, or when you building something, you got these tools and things. There's a picture of how it may look like. However, in order to get to that level, you got to go through things, okay?
That's true.
So keep pushing, keep going, keep grinding, because it's going to make it that much better. Believe.
That's facts. And I definitely agree with that. Because, through anything, like, you got to embrace the journey. You're going to have the ups and downs like we talked about. You're going to have times where you just want to quit or give up. But, at the end of the day, if you always pressing forward, if you always, taking the initiative to, say, yes, it's hard now, but I see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Talk to
I see that it's going to get better. I see that, things are going to work out for the good, because I'm putting in this work, and I know God got me. And
who got you?
God, you already know. Who got you? Jesus.
Ooh, talk to him now.
Nah, that's facts, man. Yeah. And it just takes, man, putting in the work, man, and just knowing that it's going to pay off. Because at the end of the day, you might not see it paying off, but just wait 2 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, you're going to look up and you're going to be like, man, thank God that I put in that extra time. Thank God I put in that overtime, because then when you reach the end, which is never an ending, but when you reach your goal or that end goal, that end destination, you're going to be happy with it.
Right.
And that's just goes with life, man. Like you just got to keep on battling.
Right.
Seriously.
Right.
And then, so now switching gears, I got a couple quick hit gems for you. Quick hit gems.
Not slow. Not slow.
Quick.
All right.
So the first quick hit gem I got for you, I want you to name your top 5 artists of all time. You can put it artists, yes. So you can put in any order, any category, but I need to hear your top 5 artists.
Okay. I'm going to go 1 through 5, because most people, they go 5 to 1. Okay. Tupac is number 1.
Okay. The legend, right. Legendary.
Reason why he's number 1, because he covered all grounds. Okay. Acting and artists. Okay,
That's
not
facts.
just rapping. He was also a poet as well. And he also was a great actor. You know, so
That's
he can
facts.
act.
That's
Romance, he hit you with the poetic justice. You know what I'm saying? Drama, he hit you with the juice.
Juice.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And he also hit you with the comedy too. You know, he hit you with the comedy. He hit you with the comedy. He hit
That's
you with
facts.
everything. You know, he covers it all because he has some funny moments. And Gridlock, that was pretty funny when he played his character Spoon. You know what I'm saying? So he hit you everywhere.
He a worldwide icon. In my
Yes,
opinion.
yes, worldwide, not
That's
just the
facts.
city, the world, top flight.
He was in my top 5 too, so
Right.
that's a great pick. All right, you got FOMO.
All right, number 2, we're gonna have to go with who we got.
Come on,
I'm gonna go with Jay-Z. I'm gonna go with Jay-Z.
Jay-Z, you putting Hove in there.
I'm gonna go with Jay-Z.
Okay, that's respect. That's
you know,
respect.
As a business, as an icon, longevity. You know, he get that Tom Brady award. he gonna have to get that Tom Brady award because he stood the test of times. You know, through the '90s, the 2000s. You know, after Rockefeller, he did his own thing, Rock Nation.
That's facts.
You know what I'm saying?
And the investments he make is crazy too.
Right. You know, I got to go with that.
Okay, you got 3 more for me.
Okay, 3 more. Probably, I got to go with Rakim. You know, I got to go with Rakim.
Okay.
You know.
That's a slight one. I respect that.
Yes, because, you know, he's the MC of all MCs. You know, when the 80s, right, and even in the 70s, they was going real slow with the rapping and the metaphors and all that. Rakim took that and he progressed that because he can go fast, he can go slow, and he also was able to authenticate his style without having to curse.
Right.
You know, it's not a popular thing, I understand that, but the fact that he was able to do that and to reach peaks and valleys without having to push the envelope of, you know, critically acclaiming, saying this and that.
Right.
He did it with words and wisdom, and he showed that.
That's facts. Okay, you got 2 more.
Okay. I got to go with Wayne. I got to go with Weezy. You know,
he was in my top 2. Okay.
I got to because Wayne, man, not just the South, you know, worldwide.
That's facts.
He been through a lot. You know, he held it down with a group. You know, I know he's wobbly, but he introduced himself to a world that, you know, at first, like the South wasn't accepted. We got outcasts, you know.
That's facts.
But a lot of people from the South, they wasn't hitting those mainstreams.
That's facts.
You know, and when Wayne came, he came hard.
He kicked down the door, really, because then you had T.I., then you had a couple,
Right.
So, yeah,
you know?
I respect that. I respect
you got to have Wayne right there.
You got 1 more.
And then
I'm taking over that last slot, man.
The last slot, I got to give it to Cube.
Okay, legend.
Cube, you know, a writer. He was in a group. He also branched off and did his solo career, but he also did movies too. And he was a writer and he had his own production.
That's facts.
You know, he got the cult classic Friday.
Everybody
know that.
Man.
You know, and I really enjoyed the biopic film NWA, Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah.
You know.
This is wild, but I still haven't watched that movie in its entirety yet. I still haven't watched it.
Wow.
I'm dead serious.
You know, we family, so I'm forgive you for that.
It just like I tried to. Of course, I tried to get it on bootleg, so I got these little websites that I usually look up, but I still haven't watched it. I swear, I promise. Okay. But I've read about it. I watched other like documentaries, like putting it in there, like with Easy and things like that. But I'm like, I still haven't watched it, so don't revoke my black card yet.
Right.
Don't take it away.
We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. I know I just gave you 5 hip hop artists, okay? Which you was asked for artists. Now, as I go the total realm of artists, okay, Tupac's still my number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, I gotta go with Ozzy, okay?
Ozzy, okay.
Yes. Black Sabbath. I know he got kicked out the group, you know, early ages, but hey, you know what I'm saying? He was a bad boy.
Okay,
I gotta go with Ozzy.
Who else you putting in there?
Number 3, gotta go with my girl Pat Benatar.
Oh, okay. I respect that.
I gotta go with my girl Pat Benatar. You know, that was one of the first concerts that I went to down in
Oh,
Cascade in
man,
St.
you
Charles.
took a
You
little
know
boot
what I'm
thing
saying?
with you.
I did. We only slide because it's slippery now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I gotta go with Pat Benatar. I gotta represent. You know. And then number 4, I gotta go with Wesley Snipes. You know what I'm saying? He's an artist. You know, he's a bad boy. Wesley Snipes.
That's mad respect too.
He's one of the most well-rounded actors in the world. He can do drama. Come on now.
And production.
Come on now,
crazy.
New Jack City. He can do drama. He can also do comedy. You seen White Man Can't Jump. You seen Money Train. He can do comedy.
They coming out with another. That's facts. That's facts.
He can also do action. Look at Blade.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All
Look
time.
At Blade.
That's a classic.
You know, well-rounded.
You got one more. Go ahead and throw one more in there for me.
One more. I gotta go with Jamie Foxx.
Ooh.
I gotta go with Jamie Foxx.
Jamie, that's a cold one.
He's the most talented artist of all time. This man has won a Grammy. Yes, he has won a Grammy.
Okay.
He has won an Emmy. He has won a Tony. He's done it all. Jamie Foxx. I mean, there's no ceiling to him. When when Lil Wayne did the mixtape No Ceilings, he was talking about Jamie Foxx. You know, I know he goes by Jamie Mother effing Foxx. I don't curse though. You know what I'm saying? This is not just for the cameras. I just don't curse. Anybody know me? No, I don't curse. You know what I'm saying?
I respect that though.
But Jamie Foxx though, because Ray that took off, you would have thought that was Ray Charles. You know what I'm saying? And then,
that's real talk. Some people really do though. We ain't gonna talk about that though.
And then his early stage, I know his music career didn't jump off because I think it was like 1994, 1995. He had Peep This. He had an album out, but you know, it didn't go the way that he wanted to. But you know what? He didn't quit. He kept on going. Then when he got up, met up with Tank, you know, he helped resurrect and help boost Tank's career.
That's facts.
Tank did a lot of writing and producing on Jamie Foxx album Unpredictable, but Jamie Foxx was rocking and rolling, man, with the voice and the songs and stuff. You know, he brought back that 90s R&B.
That's
you know,
facts.
the 90s R&B, and to my opinion, 90s R&B was the greatest. You know, we ain't gonna debate about that. 90s R&B.
I would definitely agree with you. I mean, the 2000s it was up there, but ain't nothing like the 90s. Right. I listen to the 90s. My mom, it's on Sundays, boy. That's all you heard was a little R&B and a little gospel.
Right.
Right. We grew up on that.
But yeah, Jamie Foxx, and then also you got to look at the movie Any Given Sunday. Will he be, man? I
did watch that movie too, so I respect that.
He did his thing.
I respect that.
With Soul, the Pixar, you know what I'm saying, the animation and stuff. I mean, you can't hold him back. And then he can play the piano. I mean, well-rounded. It's Jamie Foxx, man.
Okay, I respect that.
Those my 5.
All right, I got another quick hit gems for you. Let's go ahead, get it. So, top 5 people dead or alive, or just 5 people dead or alive that you would want to have dinner with.
Top 5.
You get one dinner. It's the last dinner, last supper.
Right.
Top 5. Give me 5 people that you would want at that dinner table with you.
Number 1 is Tupac.
Okay, we put Tupac in there.
All right. Number 2, Obama. I gotta
respect that.
How does it? Because I know he went through a lot of pressure, a lot of stress being the first Black president. You know, I would like to get the hidden gems. I like to co-sign your name, the hidden gems of what he was dealing with and what he was going through.
That's facts.
You know, number 3. Let me see. Number 3, Snoop Dogg. It gotta be Snoop Dogg.
Okay, Snoop.
Because
that's respect.
Through the whole death row, you know, murder was the case. I love to know, like,
that's facts.
What in his mind, like, what was he thinking? Was he thinking he was gonna beat the case?
Or was he thinking he was gonna go down?
Who was in his corner?
That's facts.
Who used to be in his corner and ended up coming back because they saw that he wasn't gonna be convicted?
Yeah.
You know, like, who stood with him through that? You know, and just the whole process of, like, oh man, like the lawyers and like what to say and what not to say, who to be around with, who not to be around with, the whole Suge Knight stuff. You know, was Suge Knight really everything what we read and hear about? Was he really that dude?
That dude, right?
You know, and to look at his growth right now, he just performed at the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like
the evolution of that. He was my man was crip rocking up there on the stage, boy. He wasn't playing no games out here.
You know, and just to see what he is now, like you can't turn off the TV or turn it on without seeing him. You know, he in the Corona, and now, you know, he the president of Def Jam.
He is the president of Def Jam now.
For a West Coast artist to become an East Coast conglomerate of Def Jam, like,
that's facts.
Come on now, like, yeah, that needs to be applauded and to talk about. You know?
Okay, you got two more then. You got two more.
Two more, man. We got to give the women some shine. So, Carrie Champion.
Carrie Champion. I'm not familiar. I'm not too familiar. You got to put me on.
She used to be. I'm gonna put you all the way on now. Come on now. Strong black queen, black woman out here. You know, you got to represent for them. But Carrie Champion, she the baddest and the baddest. You know, hey Carrie, hey, if you're single out there, I'm single too. You know, I got a healthy credit score. You know, I got all my teeth. These are not veneers. These are real teeth.
He said these are not veneers.
Hey, I'm out here, but Carrie Champion, I like her. I like what she about, what she represented. You know, she got it. You know, and she hold herself nice, strong, and represents for the black queens out there. And that would be a woman that I would want to bring around and a role model. You know, she started on First Take with Skip Bayless on ESPN. She was the anchor on there. It was Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith.
Right.
And then she branched off and she did her own thing. She working with Jamel Hill, another prominent, strong black woman out there who used to also be on ESPN.
Okay.
She's doing her own thing with the podcast and stuff.
That's respect.
Yeah, I love to have a dinner with her.
Okay, we got one more.
Okay. The last one, man, Martin Luther the King. The King.
Okay, the King. Right? You want to sit down with the King.
Yes, because to turn the other cheek, other than Jesus Christ, right?
That's facts. He was the only other one.
I mean, man, to go through everything he went through, the ridicule, the slander, the spitting, the assaults, being locked up, winning the Nobel Peace Prize.
That's facts.
To go through everything he went through and to still be the man he is and was. You know, I don't speak about him in the past because he still is Martin Luther the King, because what he was talking about and preaching about is still current till this day.
Exactly.
And that needs to be highlighted.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah, he's a hero in our culture and a hero, I think, to America, because he shined a bigger light on, you know, what was going on, the deep-rooted stuff that's going on still in this country, you know. And like you said, it's still going on, you know. So everything that he was doing, everything that he said is still evident to this day, you know. So we're going to continue to press forward.
Right.
But now, you know, to end this, I want to say who is one person or who gave you the best advice that you heard. So if you got a quote or you got some advice, what can you leave my people? What is the best advice you've ever heard? That you can give?
My pops, Wes Nelson. 80% listening, 20% talking. You get 2 ears, right? God gave us 2 ears for a reason, but he gave us 1 mouth. Gave us 2 ears. Our ears can never close, but our mouth can. So when you think about that, right? Because your head ain't on your shoulders just for looking.
That's
you know what I'm saying? If your ears could never close, but your mouth can, what should the majority of your time be spent doing? Listening.
That's
learning. You know, like listening and learning is a hand in hand. They got a covalent bond.
That's how you evolve, for real.
Yeah, exactly. So your mouth can close for a reason, because you can learn and be a lot more successful if you spend more time listening and learning instead of talking. Because when you talking, or in this, it might be a situation where like you listen, but you so in a hurry to respond. You see what I'm saying? That's important too. So 80% listening, 20% talking. Because you're gonna create, you're gonna learn, and you're gonna build, and you're gonna be successful doing that. Shout out to my pops. You know, Father's Day is tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
That's so the pops there.
Yeah.
We appreciate that advice, and I thank you for giving that to my people.
Of course.
And also, too, I appreciate you coming on this podcast. I appreciate you taking time and giving some gems out here to my beautiful people.
Yeah.
You know, we will be having you on future episodes as well. So y'all definitely stay tuned for that. Hey, it's coming. So, hey, this was the Golden Gemz podcast. This is another interview, another banger that I had for y'all. So thank you, of course, for tuning in. And, hey, make sure y'all come back for more. Got any last words you want to say to the people, man?
Hey, shout out to you, little cuz, man. You doing your thing.
Appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the time, the energy, the space. This is beautiful. I'm liking what you're doing, and you building something, you know? You building something, and it's beautiful. And I'm just glad to be a part of this. And, hey, you know, you can look out for me on the Instagram, Coach Trey Fitness.
Yes, go ahead. I'll put his information in the description so y'all can go find it.
You can catch me at UFC Gym, Yorktown, Illinois, Lombard, doing my thing. I teach boxing classes Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 12 p.m. Conditioning, combination, you know, make sure you're getting your stuff right. Tuesday, Thursday, 12 o'clock, you can catch me. Pump day. Tuesdays is upper body. Thursdays is lower body.
Getting it in.
Yeah, this caramel passion in the house, so y'all know how.
Caramel passion.
Yeah.
And just like that, hey, the Golden Gemz podcast, thank you for coming back. Thank you for tuning in. And, hey, we out.
Love.
Love.